Legend of Yufei, Chapter 30.
Yang Hu, he's got Daunting Lake pretty much locked down. It's strategic, gives him huge advantages.
Makes a direct attack really, really risky. Probably futile, even. Huge losses for likely little gain.
So Yu Fei doesn't go for the obvious. He starts, you could say, an invisible war first.
Classic asymmetric thinking. If you can't match strength head-on, you find the cracks elsewhere, not always on the battlefield itself.
And his big move involves these two brothers, Gang Mingda and his brother. Yu Fei comes up with this really audacious plan.
Audacious is right, sending them back undercover.
Yeah. Pretend to surrender, disguised as fishermen, which they actually used to be. The idea was Yang Hu knew them from before, so he trusts them.
It's exploiting that personal history, that pre-existing connection. Yang Hu would probably think, oh yeah, these guys, nowhere else to go, makes sense they join me.
Just imagine the nerve that took, though. You're not just a spy sending messages. You're embedding yourself, trying to gain trust right in the enemy camp.
It's incredibly high risk. But the potential payoff, if it works, is enormous. It leverages the enemy's own sense of local power against him.
And their mission, it wasn't simple. It was like a whole checklist. First, get trusted, then get into a key position guarding the mountain strongholds specifically.
Okay, so far standard infiltration goals.
But then, once Yang Hu leaves for the battle, they have to secretly free this other guy, Niu Gao, capture Yang Hu's family, but, and this is crucial, the order was, Tipelago, do not harm them.
Interesting. Even in the middle of this pretty ruthless operation, there's a specific instruction about protecting non-combatants, essentially. Tells you something about Yu Fei's code, maybe.
Maybe. Then grab all the valuables they can find and then torch the place. Now we ichite. Set fire from all sides. Burn the whole stronghold down. Talk about thorough.
Wow. So it's intelligence, sabotage, prisoner rescue, resource denial, and psychological warfare all rolled into one mission for just two guys. That's incredibly detailed planning.
And they pull it off. They get to Yang Hu. He recognizes them. He's delighted. They offer to help a strong arm, basically, against Yu Fei.
And Yang Hu buys it completely.
Hook, line, and sinker. He apparently exclaims itself like, heaven's helping him. He throws a feast, gives them new clothes. Total deception.
That heaven's aid bit is telling. It sounds like confirmation bias kicking in hard. He wants it to be true, so he accepts it without much suspicion. A classic leadership trap, really. Seeing good fortune where maybe you should see danger.
Definitely played on his ego. So, okay, the undercover op is running. Now, Yu Fei tackles the big problem, the Navy. Yang Hu has better ships, maybe more ships. How do you fight that?
You innovate. You don't wait for the perfect weapon system to be delivered. You figure out how to use what you do have or what you can get easily.
Right, and it starts with really basic stuff. He gets the local prefect, the Pingjiang prefect, to round up Pingji, just coarse and fine bamboo and hemp ropes.
Common materials. Abundant, probably.
Exactly. They use these to build Wei wooden rafts, and they prepare basically using raw ox hides for shelters and arrow shields on these rafts. Smart, low-tech defense.
Resourceful, using readily available stuff for basic protection.
But then it gets weirder. He borrows thousands of cotton quilts from the local gentry.
Quilts. Thousands of them. Okay, that's unexpected. What for?
For protection. Placed on the ships or rafts, presumably layered, to help stop airy arrows and cannon fire.
Huh. You know, it actually makes a kind of sense. Soft, thick layers dissipating energy, like an early form of composite armor almost. Using everyday items. It's brilliant in its simplicity.
He didn't just use existing stuff, though. He designed new weapons. These inverted barb hooks. And three-pointed small knives. Had blacksmiths make them to his specs.
Okay, so custom gear for this specific fight. What would those hooks be for, do you think? Grappling, obviously, but...
Maybe snagging, rigging. Or pulling rafts alongside bigger ships for boarding. The barbs would make them hard to dislodge.
And the knives, small. 3-point sounds nasty for close quarters fighting on a crowded deck. Quick jabs, hard to defend against. Designed for the chaos of boarding actions.
And then there's the training. This is wild. The Oreo barrel soldiers. He had two commanders, Tang Huai and Zhang Shen, teach soldiers to stand on sort boards tied to wicker baskets or barrels in shallow water.
Wait, stand on barrels? Why?
To get their sea legs. The text says it was so they could basically brave the wind and waves on deck without fear, simulating the instability.
Huh. That's incredible. So it's not just physical training, it's psychological conditioning too, making them comfortable with the rocking and rolling before they even get into a real fight on water. Very clever.
And one more naval prep. Under another guy, Shiquan, boat artisans worked on the ship bottoms. They nailed strips of bamboo densely onto the bottoms.
Bamboo on the bottom. Why?
And they specifically arranged those special hooks and knives underneath the ships, too.
Okay, now that's really thinking three-dimensionally, preparing for underwater threats, or maybe something to damage other ships if they got close.
It's not entirely clear from this excerpt, but he's definitely covering all angles. So you look at all this, the repurposed quilts, the custom hooks, the barrel soldiers, the stuff under the boats. What stands out to you? For me, it's the sheer ingenuity with everyday stuff.
It's the whole package, isn't it? The blend of low-tech improvisation like the quilts and bamboo with very specific targeted inventions like the hooks and the training method. It shows this deep understanding of the specific problems they were going to face and finding practical, tailored solutions. Ancient problem solving at its best.
So the gang brothers are in place, the weird and wonderful arsenal is ready, but Yufei needs the timing to be perfect. Yang Hu is getting impatient. He sends Yufei a letter basically saying, let's fight already.
He wants the battle. He thinks he's ready. Probably thinks Yufei is stalling out of weakness.
And Yufei leans into that. Fei pretends to be sick, asks for a few days delay.
Buys himself more time. Smart.
And he stretches it out for more than half a month, making sure everything is absolutely ready.
While also probably making Yang Hu even more overconfident and impatient. It's psychological maneuvering as much as logistical prep.
Definitely. Okay, deployment time. This is where the trap really gets set. Wang Yi takes dozens of small boats, and his job is to collect and hide water reeds or grass.
Grass? What's he going to do with grass?
His mission is very specific. When the time comes, deploy the grass to clog the water wheels of Yang Hu's big, those crossbow tower ships, stop them dead in the water.
The propulsion system. Those tower ships likely use paddle wheels driven by manpower. And yeah, jamming them with vegetation. That could actually work. That's brilliant. Turning something abundant and seemingly harmless into a weapon.
Once they're stuck, Wang Yi's troops board, spike the cannons, basically disable them, and then join the main fight, a critical piece of the puzzle.
It shows that deep dive into the enemy's tech, knowing not just their strengths, but their potential weaknesses, even mundane ones, like how their ships move.
Meanwhile, there's a land component, too. 4 commanders, Zhu King, Zhao Yun, Liang Jing, Ji King, take Husor, 5,000 troops, to set an ambush at Wuxi Great Bridge.
So, cutting off the retreat route.
Exactly. Orders. If Yang Hu retreats that way, intercept him, capture him. No harming him. And the warning is stark. Violate the order, you lose your head.
Again with the capture alive order. UAV seems focused on taking Yang Hu prisoner, not just defeating his army. There's a larger strategic goal there, maybe political, and the threat shows how crucial this part of the plan was. No mistakes allowed.
And Yang Hu, completely oblivious. He sets up his fleet. Zhu Bin has the cannon ships. Hua Pufang commands those crossbow tower ships Wang Yi is targeting. Xi Jin has a Shu, water ghost ships, maybe swimmers or divers, and Yang Hu himself leads the main 2, the big warships. Looks impressive on paper.
A powerful force, conventionally speaking. He's got specialized ships for different roles. He feels strong.
And the gang brothers, they play their final card. They go to Yang Hu, and 8th, they report in, offering to, guard the mountain stronghold for him, take care of the home front so he doesn't have to worry. Wahoo worries about what's behind him.
Oh, that is just beautiful deception. Removing his last potential reason for caution.
And Yang Hu is totally delighted. He's now completely confident he's going to crush Yufei, leave Sipso, not a single piece of armor left, while the guys protecting his base are actually about to bring it down and grab his family.
The irony is crushing. His confidence, fed by Yufei's delays and the gang brothers' deception, has blinded him completely.
So how much did this overconfidence really cost him? It seems like Yufei counted on it, right?
Absolutely essential. Yang Hu made several classic blunders rooted in arrogance. He underestimated his opponent, assuming Yufei's delays were weakness. He trusted the gang brothers far too easily, that confirmation bias again, and he failed to imagine unconventional tactics. He expected a straightforward fight based on visible strength.
He couldn't see the hidden threats.
Exactly. His certainty made him intellectually rigid. He couldn't conceive of things like, grass being used as a weapon or his own men turning against him. Yu Fei exploited that psychological vulnerability perfectly. It's a timeless lesson in leadership. Arrogance breeds blind spots.
Okay, battle time. The traps are sprung. Yufei advances, and his formation is weird. Happy to say, a line of those wooden rafts with teams of small boats tucked in between them.
Flexible, adaptable, not just a rigid wall of ships.
And out front, the Perriit, the bamboo cities. These linked bamboo screens that could stand up or lie flat. His soldiers are on the rafts, shouting, looking confident.
Presenting a very unusual, perhaps confusing front to the enemy.
Yang Hu attacks first. Yu Bin brings up the NM, the cannon ships. Boom, a massive barrage.
The expected opening salvo, trying to blast them off the water with sheer firepower.
But Yu Fei signals, waves a red flag, and his soldiers duck into the shelters on the small boats, Oripajaw, and the bamboo cities. They lie flat, creating a flexible shield.
Ah, so the screens absorb or deflect the cannonball.
Exactly. The text says the cannonballs hit the bamboo and they just slid off into the water, mostly harmlessly.
That is brilliant. Using flexibility against brute force, the bamboo bends, absorbs the impact, redirects the energy. Simple materials, incredibly effective defense against heavy artillery of the time. Genius.
So the cannon fire dies down. Yu Fei's forces pop back up, raise the bamboo cities again, and they charge forward. Yu Bin's ships split, and now Hua Pufang brings up the crossbow tower ships.
The next wave. Okay, cannon didn't work. Try massed arrow fire.
10,000 crossbow bolts loosed at once, an absolute storm of arrows.
Terrifying amount of firepower. How do the bamboo cities handle that?
Presumably the same way. Lower them again, let the flexible bamboo and maybe those oxides catch or deflect the bolts. Can you just picture that? This wall of simple bamboo neutralizing cannons and massed crossbows. It's low-tech beating high-tech in a way.
It really is. It's about understanding the properties of materials and the physics involved. Not just having the biggest gun, but having the cleverest shield.
Okay, second volley absorbed. Now comes the moment. Yu Fei signals again, red flag. Bamboo city's down, and Wang Yi makes his move.
The grass boats.
Yep. He unleashes his N and his crews. Push all that collected water, weed, and grass into the lake right in front of the advancing crossbow ships.
Timing had to be perfect for them.
And it works. The water wheels of the two, they get completely clogged by the grass. The ships just stop, unable to move, like they're nailed in place.
Immobilized. Just as planned, suddenly those big, powerful ships are helpless targets.
It's the payoff for that whole synchronized plan. Every piece falling into place, the grass, the gang brothers causing chaos back home later. It's a masterclass, like you said, using the environment, exploiting that specific mechanical weakness.
And turning Yang Hu's main assault force into sitting ducks. A profound tactical shift achieved with weeds.
Right. Then Wang Yi gives this huge shout and leads his troops jumping onto the stuck crossbow ships.
Boarding action. Now it gets brutal.
Hacking at everyone they meet. Yang Hu soldiers, the chink or henchmen, are totally overwhelmed, killed or forced overboard. Chaos on the decks.
The surprise, the suddenness, the fact their ships can't maneuver, it would have broken their morale instantly. Plus, Yu Fei's troops were likely trained for exactly this kind of close combat.
Wang Yi then orders his men, push the cannons and their mountings right into the lake, completely disarm the ships.
Smart. Ensure they can't be used again, even if reinforcements arrive. Take out the threat permanently.
Hua Pufang tries to bring other ships to rescue them, but it's too late. Wang Yi's done his job, disengaged, and is heading back to Yu Fei's main force in his small boats. The core of Yang Hu's assault fleet is neutralized. Taihu Lake, Yang Hu's guys are launching these water ghost ships. That sounds terrifying.
It really does. And what's fascinating, I think, is just how audacious this unit was. I mean, specialized forces.
Right.
These water ghosts, they were literally designed to attack from underneath the enemy ships, trying to drill through the hulls.
Oh, with what? Like tools?
Yeah, with chisels. It's basically an early kind of underwater sabotage, pretty innovative for that period. Very reliant on stealth.
So how on earth did Yu Fei counter that? Something hidden coming from below. You can't just shoot at it.
Well, that's where Yu Fei's genius, or at least his preparation, comes in.
Yep.
His rafts, they were reinforced. They had bamboo strips nailed to the bottom.
Ah, okay. So like an ancient version of armor plating.
Precisely. Yeah, you think of it like that. It basically made the water ghost chisels useless. They couldn't get through.
That's amazing foresight. Just neutralizes their main trick before they even get going.
It turned this scary, almost supernatural threat into something, well, manageable.
But I bet Yufei didn't just stop at defense, right? He wouldn't just sit there. Was there a counterattack?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Beyond the clever defense, there was a fierce counter. There was this general, Ruan Liang. He led a group of really skilled swimmers.
Okay.
And they were armed with these things called wind-splashing knives. The text says they jumped in and killed like 9 out of 10 of these underwater attackers.
9 out of 10.
Yeah. It just shows Yufei's preparation, but also the sheer bravery and skill of his soldiers. They could fight anywhere, even underwater.
So imagine being one of those water ghosts. You expect easy pickings, right?
Yeah.
But you hit this impenetrable bottom, and then suddenly your buddies are getting picked off in your own element.
Yeah.
What does that do to morale right at the start?
Oh, it would be crushing, absolutely devastating. Their elite unit, their secret weapon, gone, just like that.
Yeah.
It shatters their confidence immediately. Makes the whole rest of the fight an uphill battle for them, psychologically.
Okay, so after that initial clash on the water, Yufei does something really interesting. He doesn't just, keep fighting ship to ship. He starts talking to Yang Hu. It feels like psychological warfare.
It absolutely is. And this is where you see Yufei operating on multiple levels. He's not just after a tactical win on the lake. He's aiming for a total strategic knockout.
How so? What's the goal?
He wants to break Yang Hu's will to fight, completely shatter his morale. And he does it by delivering this absolutely devastating piece of news.
Okay, so how does he start? Does he just yell across the water?
Pretty much. His first call is direct, but it's also kind of conciliatory. He said something like, "Yang General, your great cause is lost. Why not surrender early?"
And he offers some stuff, right? Incentives.
Big ones. Promises of honoring ancestors and sealing a wife and shading a son. Basically, legitimacy, security, prosperity for his family. That's a huge deal back then.
But Yang Hu, he's probably still feeling pretty strong on Taihu Lake. Does he just brush it off?
Exactly. Yang Hu is dismissive. He boasts about his strong forces, the lake being his advantage, water power, he calls it. Attacking when advancing, defending when retreating. He genuinely thinks he's untouchable there.
And that's when Yufei hits him with the big one, the reveal.
That's the moment. Yufei just cuts through all the boasting. "Yang Hu, you still don't know your lair has already been seized by me."
Oof. And can Yang Hu see it?
Yeah, the text gives this amazing visual. Yang Hu looks back towards his base and sees full mountain red flames, fire spreading to the sky. His stronghold is burning.
Wow. And just to twist the knife, a messenger confirms it.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
A small bandit soldier, Adrian trusts, arrives, probably breathless, confirming the gang brothers rescued another general, Nu Gao, raided the stronghold, and set fires everywhere.
So not just burning, but completely surrounded by fire. No way out.
Exactly. Retreat is impossible. So Yufei's words weren't just a taunt. It was the final piece of a perfectly coordinated land and water attack, timed for maximum psychological impact.
Man, that's not just winning a battle. That's like taking control of the whole story, ripping away every last bit of hope the enemy has. Incredible coordination.
Masterclass is right. ##33. Direct combat and key figures fates.
Okay, so base is gone. Morale is probably rock bottom. Yang Hu makes a desperate move, right? He attacks.
He does. It's a last-ditch effort.
Yeah.
But Yufei's forces, they've just delivered this huge psychological blow. They're ready, and they turn the tide incredibly fast.
And it's interesting because Yufei's on a small boat, right? How do they manage to overwhelm Yang Hu's bigger ship?
Well, speed and aggression seem key. Yufei orders his men to use grapnel hooks to latch onto Yang Hu's ship.
Like boarding hooks.
Exactly. Once they're hooked on, his generals and soldiers just swarm onto the enemy deck. Mass boarding action. It totally cancels out the size advantage of Yang Hu's ship.
And then it gets personal. We see some key figures go down in the fight. These accounts often focus on that.
They do. It highlights individual prowess.
Yeah.
So Wang Yi takes out Zhu Bian very quickly. Hand up, knife down, the text says. Decisive.
Okay.
Then, two other generals, Tang Huai and Zhang Xian, they corner another enemy leader, Hua Pufang, on this special arrow tower ship, the Ye.
And does he fight or run?
He sees it's hopeless. He actually jumps into the lake and escapes, flees to Lake Poyang to join up with another bandit group under Yang Mo.
Ah, so that's important. A loose end that sets up future trouble for Yufei.
Definitely. It's a crucial detail for the ongoing story. Meanwhile, another enemy commander, He Jin, one of the One Ghost leaders, he gets killed by Wang Hang brutally with a copper cudgel. The text says his brain matter spilled out.
Grim. So Yang Hu sees his top guys falling. His force is crumbling. What does he do?
He jumps into the water too, trying to escape like Hua Pufan.
But Yu Fei doesn't just let the chaos continue.
No, this is key. As Yang Hu tries to flee, and the remaining smaller bandit boats are totally disorganized, Yu Fei shouts out, "Those who surrender will be spared."
Smart move.
Very smart. It leads to mass surrender. It consolidates the victory quickly, avoids more bloodshed, and even saves potential manpower he might use later.
So it's tactical brilliance in the fight, yeah, but also that strategic foresight again. Offering amnesty, thinking ahead, a complete command philosophy, really.
Precisely.
Okay, so Yang Hu gets away from the main battle on the lake, but his escape doesn't last long, does it? His journey seems full of near misses and then this really unexpected ending.
Yeah, it's quite a sequence. And if you look at the bigger picture, Yu Fei's pursuit isn't just about hunting him down militarily. It's like he's anticipating Yang Hu's every move.
He knows where he'll go.
He seems to. But more than that, he ends up using these deeper human connections. It shows Yu Fei really understood his opponent on a fundamental level.
So tell us about the chase on land. Yang Hu escapes the water, tries to regroup.
Right. He manages to evade Ruan Liang in the water, finds maybe a few hundred of his defeated soldiers, and tries to pull things together.
He still wants revenge.
Oh, yeah. His plan is to go find refuge with a couple of other bandit kings. Mixed River King Luo Hui and Silent Mountain King Wan Rui, borrow their troops, and come back for revenge. He's not giving up yet.
But Yu Fei's forces are already there, waiting.
An ambush.
Exactly. Near a place called Wuxi Grand Bridge, he runs right into 4 of Yu Fei's generals, Zhu King, Qi King, Zhao Yin, and Liang Xing. They basically announce, we're here on Yu Fei's orders.
And Yang Hu must be exhausted by this point.
Completely. The text specifically says he's hungry and exhausted from fighting all day, then writing all night. He just can't beat these 4 fresh generals. He's trapped.
He's cornered. Considers suicide even.
Yes, it looks like the end of the road. But just as he's about to, he hears this voice calling from the river.
And it's not another general.
No, it's, "Young general, your mother is here. Come quickly to meet her."
Wow. His mother. That's an incredible psychological move, isn't it? Just pure psychological precision. Yu Fei knew Yang Hu's breaking point wasn't going to be military.
It was family.
Exactly. Filial piety, that deep respect for parents, which was just fundamental in that society. His mother comes out on a boat, and she doesn't plead. She scolds him.
What does she say?
Something like, "Rebellious son, the marshal spared our whole family. Why are you still fighting? Get off your horse and surrender." It's a moral command he just can't ignore.
And that's it. The fight just goes out of him.
Completely. Resistance crumbles. He gets off his horse, kneels down, basically admitting defeat and saying he's afraid of what the emperor will do to him.
It just shows, doesn't it? Even the toughest warrior can be swayed by family, by that chance for mercy. Sometimes the best weapon isn't steel.
It's understanding the human heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Yang Hu is captured, victory secured, but Yu Fei's job isn't beaver, is it? Now he's got this powerful former enemy on his hands. He needs to integrate him somehow.
Right. And this part really shows Yu Fei is more than just a general. It shows his statesmanship.
How does he manage that? How do you turn an enemy like Yang Hu into someone loyal?
Well, it seems to come down to empathy, first off, and giving him a clear path forward. He's not just about punishment. He's thinking about building stability.
So what's his first move with Yang Hu after the surrender? He doesn't just throw him in chains.
No, not at all. He actually helps Yang Hu up, treats him with respect. He says something really insightful, acknowledging that even heroes can lose their way, especially when there are corrupt officials in power.
He's kind of giving him an out, making it less personal.
Exactly. And then he makes it even more personal, in a good way. He mentions that he himself also suffered grievances in the past. He makes himself relatable, human, not just the conquering general.
So he's building a bridge, and then he offers him a future.
A concrete one. He stresses that the current emperor respects talent. And then he makes a personal promise. He will personally vouch for Yang Hu, to serve the Song dynasty.
Wow, so not just pardon, but a recommendation for a job, a career?
Yes, a chance for redemption, a legitimate path, a way to, establish merit and honor his family. That's incredibly strategic for long-term peace.
And what about the rest of the region, the surrendered soldiers? How does he handle them to keep things stable?
Well, first, Yang Hu gets reunited with his family. That fulfills the promise and shows Yu Fei is trustworthy. Then, those hundreds of surrendered bandits, they get a choice.
What kind of choice?
Join Yufei's army or go back to farming.
Yeah.
No forced conscription. It's pragmatic, lets them reintegrate peacefully, prevents future resentment.
That seems very sensible.
And then Yufei, with Yang Hu actually traveling with him, goes to Dongting Mountain to meet the Gang brothers in Yugao, sort of solidifying control and making sure everyone's on board.
Bringing everyone together.
Yeah. And when the army finally returns to the local capital, Pingyang, the officials and citizens celebrate. They praise Yufei's strict military discipline. And crucially, they note his army did not harm a single hair on their journey.
That's huge. Building public trust, showing his army is different.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast to how armies often behaved. It shows true leadership isn't just winning battles, it's winning hearts and minds, offering redemption, and building a better, more stable society through discipline and fairness. It's the whole package.
A holistic approach, definitely. It gets recognized by the emperor, right? And then it immediately leads to the next thing.
That's right. It really highlights the pace of things back then. You see this swift reward system, but also how one victory just flows straight into the next challenge. No time to rest, really.
So they report back to the emperor at Jinling. How are Yang Hu and the others received?
The emperor, Gaozong, is apparently very pleased, and he makes a significant move. He gives high-ranking appointments to the former bandits. Yang Hu, Zhang Guoxiang, Dongfang, Ruan Liang, the Gang brothers, they all get appointed as Tongzi.
Well, which is what? Exactly. A real position.
Oh yeah, a significant regional commander role. It's not just a title, it's a powerful symbol of integration, giving former enemies real authority. It shows the emperor was pragmatic, willing to use talent wherever he found it.
And Yufei gets rewarded too, presumably?
Yes, he gets an added title and recorded merits, and his other generals get honors as well. Standard practice, but important recognition.
But then, boom, new orders.
Immediately, Emperor Gaozong tasks Yufei with conquering the bandits on Poyang Lake.
General Yufei needs to deal with these bandits.
On Poyang Lake.
He gets his army moving. There's a vanguard, a main force, and Yufei himself is commanding from the rear.
Standard military formation, sounds like. But who's leading the charge?
That's where it gets interesting immediately. Leading the very front, the vanguard, is General Niu Gao. He's got 5,000 soldiers. He's known for being a bit unconventional.
Niu Gao definitely has a reputation.
Behind him are Wang Yi and Tang Huai with more troops, and then Yufei's main force. But Niu Gao being out front is key.
So why him? Why put the unconventional guy right at the tip of the spear?
Well, we actually get an answer almost straight away. We sort of eavesdrop on Wang Yi and Tang Huai talking. Wang Yi is wondering exactly that. Why is Niu Gao always picked for the front? He sort of grumbles that maybe they could handle it just fine.
A bit of professional jealousy, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or just genuine curiosity?
Maybe a bit of both. But Tang Huai's explanation is fascinating. He says their elder brother, that's Yufei, often calls Niu Gao a fujian.
A fujian. What does that translate to?
A lucky general, someone who seems to walk away from incredible danger, survives things others wouldn't.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about skill or tactics. It's this idea that he has, well, luck on his side. Almost like a superpower.
Pretty much. It immediately tells you Niu Gao isn't your standard commander. He probably relies on something other than careful planning. It sets the stage perfectly for its personality.
Definitely paints a picture.
Yeah.
So what does this lucky general do first?
Right, so Niu Gao, full of what the text calls spiritua, like vim and vigor, he arrives at Lake Huku. General Ji Kun is already there, waiting for Yufei's main army.
Okay, so they link up. Smooth sailing.
Not quite. This is where the first bit of drama happens, a misunderstanding. Ji Kun's scout sees Niu Gao's approaching banners, gets it wrong, and rushes back yelling that the great general, meaning Yufei, has arrived.
Oh boy. So Ji Kun gears up for the big boss.
Exactly. He rushes out, performs the whole formal greeting, kneeling, welcoming Yufei, but Niu Gao is like, whoa, hold on. He clarifies, nope, just the vanguard here. I'm Niu Gao.
Huh. How does Ji Kun take that?
He is furious, not at Niu Gao, but at the scout for the mistake. He immediately orders the scout tied up, ready for execution.
Wow, serious business. Military discipline back then was no joke. A simple mistake could cost you your life.
It really shows the rigidity, doesn't it? But Niu Gao, being Niu Gao, he sees this and gets angry. He basically calls out Ji Kun.
How so?
He says something like, hey, if you need Yufei's entire army to handle these small bandits, how good are you, really? And then he threatens to just pack up his troops and leave the credit for the victory entirely to Ji Kun.
Whoa, bold move. Challenging a fellow general like that, especially when you're just the vanguard. That's Nigao's lack of polish showing, maybe.
Absolutely. He's blunt, maybe a bit reckless diplomatically, but Shi Kun, he realizes he's in a tricky spot. Offending an imperial general, even one like Niu Gao, could cause serious trouble.
Right, political fallout, so he has to backtrack.
Yeah, he quickly calms down, he explains, military law dictates, but then crucially, he releases the scout because Niu Gao insists.
So Niu Gao gets his way. It really highlights his personality, brave, maybe rash, definitely not one for strict formalities when he sees something unjust.
Exactly. So once that little confrontation is smoothed over, Niu Gao actually asks Shi Kun for the intel. What's the situation with the enemy?
Finally getting down to business. What does Shi Kun say?
He gives the key details. The bandits are holed up on Konglang Mountain, which is in Poyang Lake. Their leaders are Lu Hui and Wan Rui. But the real problem, the main guy, is their marshal, Yu Haolong.
Yu Haolong, okay.
And Shi Kun describes him as extremely powerful. So powerful, in fact, that the regular government troops haven't been able to get anywhere near him.
That raises the stakes significantly. This isn't just some ragtag group if they have a marshal that formidable.
Definitely not. And they get the logistics, too. It's about 10 miles if you go by water, but 50 lead, maybe 17 miles if you go by land to reach Konglang Mountain.
Okay, shorter by water, longer by land, and a very dangerous opponent waiting.
Yeah.
What's the smart move here? Maybe wait for Yufei? Coordinate.
That would be the sensible thing, wouldn't it? But we're talking about Niu Gao, the lucky general. What do you think he does?
Uh-oh. Knowing him, I'm guessing he doesn't wait. He probably just picks a direction and goes for it. Maybe the land route, because it seems more direct, even if it's longer.
You nailed it. Despite the clear warning about Yu Hualong's strength, Niu Gao makes an impulsive call. He chooses the longer land route.
Why? Any reason given?
His reasoning is pure Niu Gao. He tells his men, basically, let's just take the mountain, then we can worry about eating.
Take the objective first, logistics later. That's certainly a philosophy.
It is. And Ji Kun, watching him go, just internally sighs, thinking Niu Gao is a reckless fellow, a beikuthiu, and basically riding off to get himself killed.
Well, Shi Kun might have a point there. It sets up a confrontation nicely. So Niu Gao charges Konglang Mountain.
He does. His troops arrive and immediately launch this noisy, chaotic attack. Cannons firing, soldiers shouting. Classic Niu Gao, all bluster.
And does Yu Hualong respond?
Oh, yes. He descends from the mountain. The description is quite vivid. He's wearing a shining silver helmet, riding a striking white dragon horse, and carrying a tiger head spear.
Sounds impressive. A proper warrior, not just a bandit leader.
Right. And Yu Gao even has this fleeting thought that Yu Haolong actually resembles Yu Fei himself. A little nod to his skill, perhaps.
Interesting details. So the fight begins.
It does. Yu Haolong mocks Niu Gao, calls him a village fellow, basically a country bumpkin. And then, well, it's quick. Yu Haolong unleashes this flurry of spear attacks.
And Niu Gao. Can a lucky general handle it?
Not this time. He's completely overwhelmed. The text says he's breathless, sweating, can't parry the blows. He has no choice but to turn his horse and flee.
Wow. A swift, humiliating defeat. So much for luck in that moment.
It really shows that sheer bravery, Niu Gao's main asset, just isn't enough against superior skill and technique sometimes. His courage became a blind spot.
But what about his troops? Does the whole vanguard collapse when he runs?
This is where it gets really interesting. Niu Gao flees, but his soldiers, they don't break. They stand their ground.
What? Even with their general gone?
Yes, they unleash this incredible volley of arrows described as being like flying locusts, just a hail of arrows.
Impressive discipline.
It completely halts Yu Haolong's advance. He's actually forced to retreat back up the mountain, and he mutters this key phrase, "Juno, the Yu family soldiers are formidable."
So even though Niu Gao was defeated, the quality of Yu Fei's troops, the Yu family soldiers, made the difference. Their training and discipline held even when their commander faltered.
Exactly. It's a huge testament to Yu Fei's leadership and the standard he set for his army. They are a force in their own right.
That's a crucial point. It's not just about the general.
Right. And then comes the comical Niu Gao moment. He's fled, thinking his whole army must have been wiped out. He cautiously turns back, probably expecting carnage.
And finds them.
What?
Still fighting.
He finds them calmly collect arrows off the ground. His army is perfectly fine.
That must have been a shock.
Definitely. And his reaction is pure gold. He says, let's see, marvelous. If I happen to lose again next time, you guys just carry on like this.
Oh, Niu Gao. Brave, lucky, but maybe not the sharpest strategic tool in the shed. Still relying on his troops saving the day rather than analyzing the defeat.
Pretty much. And understandably, he's quite embarrassed. So much so that he decides to make camp 30 leagues away from Shikun, probably to avoid the awkward "so how did it go" conversation.
Can't blame him there. Okay, so Niu Gao's had his initial rather bruising encounter. What happens when the main man, Yu Fei, arrives?
Yu Fei's main army shows up. He immediately spots Niu Gao's camp, isolated and far off from Jikun's position.
And he knows immediately what that means.
Instantly. With his strategic sense, he deduces Niu Gao must have messed up, suffered a defeat. He doesn't even need a report. He asks Niu Gao, who confirms it, stressing just how powerful Yu Wolong is.
Yu Fei sharp. He understands his generals and the battlefield dynamics. So how does he handle Yu Huolong? Does he charge in for revenge?
This is where the contrast becomes crystal clear. Yu Huolong comes down to challenge Yu Fei's army. But Yu Fei, he orders his troops to hold their position firmly. They can fire arrows, but absolutely no direct engagement, no hand-to-hand combat.
He refuses the fight.
Completely ignores Yu Wolong's taunts and challenges, just stands there defensively. Yu Huolong tries to provoke him, but gets nothing. Eventually, frustrated, Yu Huolong has to withdraw.
That's fascinating. It's not just avoiding battle, is it? It feels like a strategy in itself. Patience, observation.
Exactly. It's psychological. Yu Fei is denying Yu Huolong the fight he wants, maybe studying his reactions, his temperament. He's controlling the tempo, refusing to play Yu Huolong's game. Strategic patience personified.
And does this patient approach work? Does it lead anywhere?
Oh, does it ever? Yu Huolong sees Yu Fei holding back, refusing to fight on land. So Yu Huolong thinks he's figured Yu Fei out.
What's his theory?
He assumes Yu Fei must be planning a water attack, given their location near the lake. So Yu Huolong decides he'll launch a surprise counterattack on Yu Fei's land camp, thinking it'll be lightly defended, or maybe even empty, while Yu Fei prepares the water assault.
Ah, he's trying to be clever, anticipate Yu Fei's move, and strike preemptively, but he's projecting his own aggressive style onto Yu Fei, maybe.
Precisely. He falls right into the trap, because Yu Fei, he saw this coming. He anticipated a night raid.
So the camp isn't empty or vulnerable.
Not at all. Yu Fei has secretly moved his main forces, setting up what's known as the empty fort strategy. It looks vulnerable, it looks like an easy target, but it's a setup.
A classic deception, luring the enemy in.
Exactly. Yu Fei gives orders. When the enemy charges in, sound a cannon, have soldiers shout from all directions. But again, no actual fighting, just noise and confusion.
Pure psychological warfare. Brilliant.
And it works perfectly. Yu Huolong and his bandits charge into the seemingly empty camp. Suddenly, bang, a cannon fires. Shouts erupt from the left, the right, the rear, everywhere.
Chaos.
Total chaos. The bandits panic, thinking they're surrounded and ambushed. In the darkness and confusion, they start trampling each other. Many are killed or injured by their own comrades in the stampede.
And Yu Fei's troops.
Completely unharmed. They didn't even have to lift a weapon in anger. Yu Fei achieved a decisive victory, routing the enemy force entirely through strategy and deception. No bloodshed on his side.
Wow. That's masterful. Winning without fighting. It makes you think, how often could that apply? Using brains over brawn to save resources, save lives even.
It's a profound demonstration of strategic genius, isn't it? A stark contrast to Niu Gao's head-on charge.
Absolutely. So what happens the next day? Does Yu Huolong give up?
Well, the next morning, Yu Huolong, probably still confused and definitely weakened, comes down and challenges Yu Fei again. Maybe out of pride, or maybe he still hasn't figured it out.
And Yu Fei.
Same tactic, maintains the defensive posture, refuses direct engagement. Yu Huolong, seeing no opening, eventually retreats again. He must be realizing he's completely outmatched strategically.
He's stuck. He can't force the fight he wants.
Right. And then, as evening approaches, comes a cliffhanger. Yu Fei does something unexpected. He changes out of his armor into plain casual clothes.
Oh, why would he do that?
We don't know. He takes only one attendant, Zhang Bao, and quietly slips out of the main camp.
Leaves his army after such a victory. Where's he going?
The text doesn't tell us. It just leaves us hanging.